Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
Hot and humid out there now. We're waiting for round 2 of some heavy rains to move through a lot of the viewing area. Adam Caskey keeping a close eye on the radar. He'll have the latest coming up in your Weather Authority forecast in just a few minutes.
But we are still following late-breaking news on the northeast side of the city at this hour. San Antonio police still on the scene of a shooting in the 8000 block of Bentley. We first told you about this shooting during the 5 o'clock news.
From what we have heard, there are at least 2 victims here, and police still looking for the suspected shooter or shooters. Our John Paul Barajas out there live working to find out exactly what happened. So, John Paul, what do we know right now?
We just got done talking to police a few moments ago, and they don't have a lot of information at this time, but what they told us is there's actually 3 victims in this case. 1 man died here on scene. The other 2 were taken to the hospital in critical condition. They don't know how many. We're going to get out of the way a little bit because they're trying to get traffic through, but they don't know how many. Adam, I'm going to need you to move the camera just a bit. They don't know how many people total were involved. They do know that they believe it's all men. They're not looking for any active suspects right now. The people they're questioning, they believe the victims are here and the suspect is here at this time. But since we've been here in the short time I've been here, we've seen them investigating this maroon car quite a bit, taking lots of photographs of that. So that's obviously a point of interest for officers right now. And then, they've been taking witnesses' statements, trying to figure out what exactly happened and piecing things together. We did also speak to one resident who lives here. Here's what he had to say.
I was walking down by my brother's house. He lived maybe about a block away, and I heard maybe about 3 or 4 rounds go off.
When you heard that, did you know what it was?
Yeah, I knew. I had an idea. I knew what it was because, living in this area, you kind of hear that.
Mr. Richards said that he was going to be staying in his apartment and closing the doors, trying to stay safe. He said it's a very scary situation for himself. And again, police are still investigating, lots of questions to be answered. So we'll continue to follow this and bring you the latest. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, John Paul. Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar says it could be some time before he has all the answers about a deadly shooting involving one of his deputies.
He says the 39-year-old man who was shot had been driving and behaving erratically in the area along Petrenko Road near Sundance Park.
As Katrina Weber reports, the sheriff says he also put a deputy in danger with his car.
What began with a morning rush hour encounter shut down this stretch of Petrenko Road for half the day. Investigators were collecting information about a shooting by a Bexar County deputy. Sheriff Javier Salazar says a 39-year-old man who had been scaring customers at a nearby store sped away as a deputy confronted him shortly before 8 this morning. Later, he says, other deputies saw him driving erratically in busy traffic.
They felt they needed to get him stopped at that point. They re-engaged and tried to make contact with the suspect again.
Salazar says the man put up a fight when one deputy caught up with him. At least part of that was caught on a neighbor's camera.
That does show the suspect driving with a deputy hanging out the window.
He says the deputy fired a shot, hitting the man in his side. He died later at a hospital. Other drivers, meanwhile, were in limbo, trying to find a way around the crime scene.
The ones on the motorcycle, I asked them, can I get through? And they told me, no, not now, because it was a shooting.
Jeff Fennell decided to make the most of the unexpected break from work.
So I bought me a soda and some chips. I'm just gonna sit in the truck and wait till they open it up.
This road had been closed for more than 4 hours. Even though it's open, the sheriff says the investigation far from over. He says this man has had encounters with his office and San Antonio police recently about mental health. And the question he has now is why he was back out on the streets. Reporting from far west Bexar County, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Let's talk about street racing now. One of 2 drivers involved in last night's fatal street racing crash on Prue Road could face several charges, including manslaughter. The San Antonio Police Department saying the second driver is still in the hospital. No name yet given for the 22-year-old driver who was hit head on. The crash happening just before midnight, the second one in less than a year along that stretch of Prue Road on the city's northwest side. Street racing has been a chronic problem, more so now, it's said, because of social media and faster cars. However, for legitimate car clubs, they say street racing among their members is banned.
It's prohibited specifically in our bylaws, and we make no bones about it. If we find out that you're doing it, you will no longer be part of our organization.
Lewis says no one so far has been expelled for street racing, but some have voluntarily given up their membership. Still others, he says, are hesitant about joining because they thought car clubs were connected to street racing, which he says they definitely are not.
The CDC today issuing an urgent warning for pregnant women who are not vaccinated. Health experts there now saying what we have heard here locally for months, that being pregnant and having COVID-19 can be a dangerous coin flip. Ursula Perry explains why doctors are pleading with moms-to-be.
Coma, ECMO machines, and death for mom or baby, or maybe both. These are the realities that moms like Samantha Kelly now understand.
I should have gotten that vaccine. I hope every pregnant woman gets it.
She's lucky to have survived, and her baby too. But doctors here say others have not been as lucky.
In San Antonio, at least one pregnant woman was lost to COVID-19 in pregnancy, and we've certainly seen a number of babies being delivered extremely premature and a few babies that have been lost just because mom is so sick that we can't safely deliver her.
CDC officials now warning that expecting moms are twice as likely to end up in the ICU and 70% more likely to die there. Vaccine hesitancy, meantime, is alive and well. Dr. Ramsey says 97% of pregnant women being admitted into hospitals in the U.S. are unvaccinated, many of them worried that the shot will have a long-term, but as of yet unknown, effect.
Right now, 97% of the women that are admitted to hospitals in the United States who are pregnant are unvaccinated. So the rest of the women who are vaccinated have been spared being admitted to the hospital.
The new data from the CDC also alerts us to another number. Only 31% of pregnant women have opted to get the vaccine in the U.S., a shockingly low number, according to doctors who say there should be more, considering the vaccine was deemed safe back in March. Ursula Perry, KSAT 12 News.
SAWS and CPS Energy about to resume cutting off water and power if you're behind on your bills. Both utilities stopped those disconnections for non-payment back in March of 2020 because of the pandemic. But CPS Energy will start shutting off some residential customers' power beginning tomorrow. And SAWS will begin water disconnections on October 19th. Garrett Berger tells us how they're handling that and how you can avoid it.
Does that worry you that you could be disconnected?
For some, it was the pandemic that put them behind.
I was working at a nursing home. I lost my job. I just recently got back to work.
Have high bills.
Others, bills just simply higher than they could pay.
A month, it's like $460, something like that on average.
Whatever the cause, more than 76,000 CPS Energy and 65,000 SAWS accounts are far enough behind to be eligible for disconnection. Though many of those SAWS customers are already on a payment plan, the vast majority of both are residential customers.
But not everyone's getting shut off right away. CPS Energy says it's focusing first on customers who are way overdue and aren't on any kind of payment program or assistance. So instead of almost 72,000 residential customers starting tomorrow, it's looking instead at about 7,000.
We are talking about customers that have made no payments in the last year, and we have called them and they have not returned any phone calls to us.
And SAWS has automatically entered qualifying residential customers into a payment plan, which includes partially forgiving the debt in return for good payments. About 3/4 of its overdue residential customers are in a payment arrangement now, and final notices have just begun going out to the others.
Hopefully, as they get these final notices, they're going to contact us, and we'll have very few that we'll actually have to go and turn off.
Both utilities say getting and staying on a payment plan will protect you from disconnection, but it's not always so simple. One CPS customer told us that's still too much on top of her normal bill.
You wouldn't get behind if you could make the bill, you know?
She says CPS Energy gave her info on places that might be able to help her, and an extension for what that's worth.
It's a conversation I'm going to have again in a month.
All right, that was Garrett Berger reporting there. Let's take a look outside with live cam right now. We got another round of rain we're waiting on. Wondering about the timing, of course, of all this, Adam.
Yeah, and of course we have some updates for you in terms of the timing. We're tweaking that as we get new information from our models. So let's get a look at the radar right now. And there's a little bit of activity out there far south of San Antonio. Basically, southeastern Frio County, southern Atascosa County, and just east of I-35. Not a lot to talk about now. We had some activity closer to the Gulf coastline earlier today. But what we're watching is this development out west. Okay, this is just outside of our viewing area, but West Texas and Big Bend area, we've got this development and even some severe weather there. This is likely to continue to organize through the night and then gradually push our way. So here's our FUTURECAST, and I like this model in particular, not necessarily at 8 p.m. that it shows so much action around here. I think most of it's going to be out west, even 8, 9, 10, 11 p.m. But thereafter, developing and moving eastward, and in the pre-dawn hours, this is 2 a.m., but by 4, 5 a.m., we're expecting some heavy rain to start moving into San Antonio. So a few hours before sunrise, you may be woken up by some thunder outside and, of course, the heavy rain. And this is likely to impact the morning commute. The quick couple of inches in spots, flash flooding is a concern. And then I'll have an update on Friday night football and what the rainfall outlook is for Friday outdoor events coming right up.
Thursday, so time for our second COVID-19 briefing of the week, where we get an update on what has been improving numbers that are all trending in the right direction.
Yeah, and we certainly hope that continues. Also, probably an update on the booster shots from what the city and county are giving out. Let's go live now to City Hall.
Health, filling in for Mayor Nirenberg this evening. I'm joined by Bexar County Judge Nelson Wolf. Today, we're reporting 417 new cases of COVID-19. Our 7-day moving average has also dropped to 554. Sadly, there are 18 new deaths to report this evening. Please keep their loved ones in your thoughts and prayers. There are 659 patients in area hospitals. There were 70 new admissions, 227 in the ICU, and 112 on ventilators. 81% of patients in area hospitals are unvaccinated, and we now show 21 patients are children. Metro Health is continuing efforts to get eligible individuals vaccinated. As of today, 89.4% of the eligible population has received at least one dose. 74.3% of the eligible population are now fully vaccinated, and this is very promising. Now to Judge Wolf.
Thank you. And well, we are going in the right direction, down some 41 in patients. But again, we've got to remember we're still getting patients coming in, 70 just yesterday alone. And I think, as we've said, that we're about 74.3 vaccinated with both doses. But let me tell you, that may not get us through what could be a winter surge. You need to remember what happened to us last year. Everybody kind of let their guard down. We got into the winter. We got into January and February, hit record numbers in the hospital, up as 1,520 in one day. So let's get the vaccine if you don't have it. Let's get the booster shot if you haven't had it. I think we've done probably, we were here we're opening Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday out at the Wonderland site, University Hospital, where we were giving vaccinations. We've probably done about 5,000 or so. I think we did 900 yesterday, another 700 today, but only a few hundred of those were the first shot. So there's still a lot of people out there that have not got their vaccination, and if we want to stop a winter surge that some people are worried about, better be sure and go ahead and get it, and let's not get ourselves in trouble again like we did last year.
Thanks, Judge. Yes, we're seeing an alleviation, but we remain vigilant. So just a few reminders for our viewing audience. As a reminder,
all right, that's Claude Jacob, who is the new Metro Health Director. I guess fairly new Metro Health Director, who's sitting in for Mayor Nirenberg tonight. 417 new cases. It seems as if the trend continues to go down, but again, 18 new deaths confirmed today. That's a lot, brings it to 4,426 overall deaths so far. Still 21 pediatric patients in area hospitals.
And the judge there talking about how we now have 74% of our area who is eligible to get the vaccine fully vaccinated, but he's got concerns that may not be enough to get us through what could be another winter surge, reminding everyone to remember where we were this time last year. People kind of let their guards down. Of course, we had, less flu going around last year, fewer kids in school, and fewer people vaccinated. So that increase is certainly a positive.
Yeah, I think there's a real concern, and we can talk to Dr. Ruth Bergeron about it from University Hospital coming up, or from UT Health San Antonio a little bit later in our KSAT Q&A. A real concern that there's going to be kind of a roller coaster that we're going to see, and they want to get off that roller coaster. All right. Meanwhile, let's talk about rain. The fact that it is on its way, but what's the timing? It's changed a little bit, Adam.
Yeah, and we're constantly tweaking it as we watch the storms develop and we see what's happening outside. And right now it looks like pre-dawn hours is when the action will make it here. This evening we could have a rogue shower or two, but odds are pretty slim. We're looking at a 20 to 30% chance, and I'd say more like a 20% chance this evening. And temperatures falling through the 80s, then the 70s. But let's talk about what we're expecting for the morning commute. Let's get right to our FUTURECAST, and we'll show this one more time, and I'll even advance it even farther than what we saw before. And I do think it overplays the situation at 8 o'clock. I don't anticipate all that action in surrounding communities around Bexar County. However, overnight tonight, storms starting to come together off to our west and even into Valverde County by 11 p.m. midnight, and then gradually coming together and pushing our way and making it here by about the pre-dawn hours. So we're talking about 5 a.m., a few hours before sunrise is when we're expecting some heavy rain. So heavy rain, some lightning and thunder, maybe waking you up before your alarm clock tomorrow morning. Just be aware of that and be prepared for it. Kids may get spooked and your pets may get spooked as well. And that's, again, a few hours before sunrise, lasting through the morning commute. So some issues on the roadways are likely, and then starting to taper off by the noon hour. And I think tomorrow afternoon is mostly going to be rain-free. We'll have a few pop-up showers and storms, and I'm glad the model actually develops a few because I think we'll destabilize again and just see a few sprouting up here and there. But I really only give it about 30% chance. So about 30% of the planned football games tomorrow could actually see a delay. And these would come and go. Of course, they could have a little bit of lightning as well, which is the primary reason for a delay. Then we get into tomorrow night and not much left over. So let's look at it this way. 3 a.m. in San Antonio, 30% chance. By 5 a.m. through 10 a.m., we're up to 70%, so fairly widespread then. And then we drop those chances off to 40% noon to 4 p.m. and then just down to 30% for Friday evening football games and any outdoor activities for Friday evening. 92 now in Hondo, 85 in Bulverde and New Braunfels, Port SA 85. We're 95 Carrizo Springs and Del Rio 93. A little bit warmer, of course, to the west and southwest of town. We'll start the day tomorrow at 70 with some sunshine into the afternoon, make it to 85 with the humidity and a southeasterly breeze at 5 to 15. Saturday, I trimmed back the rain chances a bit, dropped them down to 40%. I'm not as confident we'll have as much energy to really kickstart showers and storms, but we'll have some dotting the landscape, so widely separated or scattered Saturday, particularly midday and afternoon, and then drying out Sunday, partly cloudy 88. Next week, lower humidity. That's something to look forward to.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
All right. This is a guy who really kind of announced his presence in Summer League, Larry.
Oh, he certainly did. Spurs, Trey Jones didn't play a lot his rookie season with the Spurs, but he got a lot of playing time in the Summer League in Las Vegas, and this young man put on a show. Plus, in high school basketball, Ryan Forcier is getting ready for her sophomore season with Brandeis. Coming up. Point guard Trey Jones entered training camp with a lot of confidence, and rightfully so. Back in August during Las Vegas Summer League action, Jones really showed out, averaging 22.8 points to go with 50.7% shooting from the field, 6.3 assists, and 4.8 rebounds in 27 minutes per game. That gave him some serious momentum heading into his second NBA season.
I'm trying to continue to build on that, for sure. I've been working all summer. Since the season's end. I'm trying to continue to improve my game, and so got to show a little bit of it at Summer League, like you said, and then after Summer League, continue to just get back to work and try to bring that into the season now.
At the conclusion of Summer League play, Coach Mitch Johnson praised Jones, saying he made a heck of a leap. In girls high school basketball, this area is loaded with talented players who work hard year-round to get better. If not, you'll get left behind. Brandeis combo guard Ryan Forcier is relentless when it comes to staying in shape and perfecting her craft. She's a member of Player First Basketball and AAU team here in town, and she works out at the Factory at Champions. Ryan started as a freshman last season and averaged 10.8 points, 3.7 assists, 6.8 boards, 3.3 steals, and 1.5 blocks per game. Impressive. We asked her what she wants to improve on this year, her sophomore season.
I just want that growth, to be like, okay, like she's getting better, and I just want to, be like a better basketball player we can, and I want to bring our team together, to be the best team that we can be together, because I want to win state. Like that's one of my goals, and I think we can do that by playing like as a family and playing the best basketball we can. I think we can do that.
Forcier likes to put the pedal to the metal and go 100% on the court. Her motor never stops, and she's mentally tough.
I think most of that comes from my mom and her raising me to be that type of person. But she's always taught me just like, okay, this 6'3" person's coming at me. She's strong. Like she may score on me, but I'm gonna get something on her. I'm gonna block her. I'm gonna get a steal. Like she's not just gonna own me.
Okay. So defense, you like playing defense?
Yes, sir.
What do you like about that?
I don't know. Just being able to like take the ball from someone when they're like they think they're gonna score, or just I don't know. Defense is just fun.
Defense is fun. Her coaches love to hear that. Ryan is 15 years old and class of 2024. It's time now to highlight another head coach for National Hispanic Heritage Month. Today we're talking with Jefferson girls head basketball coach Natasha Benavidez, born and raised here in San Antonio. She said this month is all about taking pride in everything that her parents and grandparents did to make opportunities available to her. She's very proud to be a Latina head coach.
I just hope to continue to be a leader and to set an example, to be a role model to my athletes. For me, I was a short Hispanic that played in college, so when they see me, they realize like, hey, I have that opportunity as well. I want to be like Coach Ben. So, I think that helps them just work harder.
Coach Ben is an inspiration to her team. She's doing great things for Jefferson and that basketball program.
Absolutely.
That is awesome.
Jefferson grad Greg Simmons bragging
absolutely
about the high school basketball.
Yes, he says that the Mighty Mustangs forever.
Yeah.
Thanks, Larry.
He says lots of stuff, though.
Our KSAT Q&A with Dr. Ruth Berggren is up next. From questions about the booster shot to an urgent warning from the CDC today about COVID-19 and getting more pregnant women vaccinated. That's where we're going to start today with infectious disease specialist Dr. Ruth Berggren with the Long School of Medicine at UT Health San Antonio. Doctor, good to see you. Let's talk about why the CDC is now taking this step to say, pregnant women, you need to get vaccinated.
Well, the reason, simply speaking, is we've seen a lot of pregnant women get hospitalized. They've gotten unnecessarily seriously ill, and they are vulnerable. They are more vulnerable than the average person to having a bad outcome from COVID-19. And there have been over 600 deaths in pregnant women. We don't ever want to see a pregnant woman die of a preventable infectious disease. That's the first part. The second part is we have tons of data showing that the vaccine can be given safely to pregnant women, and there's no adversity to either the mom or the baby. So it's a wonderful thing to do. This is not a live vaccine, and it is the best way to prevent a mom from getting unnecessarily sick or unnecessarily dying.
For mothers out there, for pregnant women who are considering, okay, I want to make that decision, I want to get this vaccine, is there a point in their pregnancy that is the right time or the suggested time to do so?
There is no limitation on when in pregnancy you can get the vaccine, and so the answer to your question really is the sooner the better.
On our newscast over the last few days, there's been a lot of talk about a winter surge. We've seen graphs that show, that it looks like the number of cases will go up, around the holidays and into the start of the next year. How concerned are you about a winter surge, and is it too late to avoid it?
So I'm very concerned about it, Steve. because of all of the school children that are vaccine eligible but have not yet been vaccinated. We're sending kids to school every day. There's inconsistent practice of masking. The kids are, a lot of kids are unvaccinated, and so it's just a setup for this to spread. However, it does not have to. We don't have to just sit here and take it, right? We can do something about it, and we know that the way to get out of this pandemic is really through vaccination and judicious use of masking. We've got to do it. So we don't have to see those numbers go up. We don't have to make that prophecy come true. We can do the opposite, and we can see cases come down, but we've got to get over our fear of vaccine and get the needles into people's arms. That's what we need to do.
There are booster shots available in San Antonio now, and there are some questions, though, about people who have received the Moderna vaccination. We've heard from some viewers who said, my doctor told me that I need a third dose of Moderna for whatever conditions that they may have, but there's a difference in a third dose versus a booster, correct?
Right. So lots of people are confused, and I get why. Sometime back, it was clear that people who have seriously immunocompromising conditions, like they had an organ transplant, well, they don't make enough of an immune response from just 2 doses of vaccine. And so those people who have those immunocompromising conditions need 3 doses. And that third dose for them is not actually a booster. It's actually a required third dose to get to a level of protection that's meaningful. So whether you had Pfizer or you had Moderna, if you are immunocompromised by a certain list of conditions or something determined by your doctor, you should have your third dose. And that third dose for immunocompromised people can be given a month after the second dose.
Even though the booster shot for Moderna and for Johnson & Johnson hasn't been approved yet, it's still safe.
That is absolutely correct. And it was very clear from the get-go. These are for people with mRNA vaccines. So Pfizer or Moderna, if you are an immunocompromised person, you need 3 doses, not 2. And that third dose for you is not considered a booster. It's a third dose. We have no such recommendations for the Johnson & Johnson. So I want to be very clear about what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the J&J folks still waiting for more information on that. Is there any difference in the actual vaccine itself? What is in that needle from the booster to the third dose? Any difference?
So far, no. At this time, when you're going in for a booster, let's say that you're one of those over 65-year-old people or someone with a heart condition, for instance, that is on the list of who needs a booster. When you go in, you are getting the exact same vaccine that you had the first time around. We don't have any updated or Delta-specific boosters. That may come in the future, but right now the boosters are all the same shot that you had before, and that's with Pfizer only, because you're right, and you mentioned it before, Moderna did not get approval yet for a booster.
Now, a lot of, let's talk about Pfizer and the vaccine for children who aren't eligible right now. The first data was turned over to the CDC. I'm sure you've looked at the early results of what has been seen so far. Do you find what they've turned over promising?
Yes, and I continue to remain hopeful that sometime this fall, we're hoping for by the end of the month of October that we'll get an approval, an emergency use authorization for kids 5 to 11 to be getting an mRNA vaccine, and it looks like the dosing will be lower for the younger kids than it is for older kids and adults.
And that's still expected to be 2 shots, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. 2 shots. And also, we should point out, we talked to you about this last week, but I know we're still getting questions about it. Safe to get the vaccine and the flu shot at the same time?
Absolutely. Don't be afraid of doing that. It's approved, and there's no scientific reason why it shouldn't be okay. I believe the worst that's going to happen to you is that instead of 1 sore arm, you'll have 2 sore arms. You'll probably feel achy no matter what, but that means your immune system is functioning and it's doing its work, and the achiness will not last long.
I always appreciate the fact that Dr. Ruth Bergeron is not afraid to take the same question over and over, because we get those questions and it's all in the interest of information in getting it out there. So, Doctor, thank you for your time.
You bet. Thanks.
We'll see you next week, and we'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. Just a few construction-related things to tell you about. This is still continuing on the northwest side. Closures between I-10 and Bandera Road, alternating closures through October 9th. That begins at 9 this evening as part of the Loop 1604 North project. Also seeing some lane closures this week, too, between 281 and Stone Oak Parkway. Those begin also at 9 o'clock. Let's take you up to Comal County. Once again, some closures on I-35 and already seeing some delays here, not maybe related to that or not. You know, there's construction going on, but these southbound lanes are going to be closed between Watson Lane and Conrad's overnight, beginning at 8, so a little more than an hour. They're doing some bridge work up there. They did the northbound lanes last night, so tonight will be the southbound lanes. She'll be getting onto the frontage roads there to get around that, so watch out for that. But again, if you are someone who knows someone traveling in from maybe from Austin or San Marcos down to New Braunfels, already seeing some delays there. Let's take you now to the east side. There's going to be a lane closure I-10 westbound starting at 9 between Greytown Road and Loop 1604. Also some more road work there. There's a lot of road work this evening, and they can get it all in because it won't be raining. Watching some delays across the area still. This is I-10 inside Loop 410. So you're seeing mostly once you're getting closer past Rigsby there into downtown at I-37 or south of downtown at I-37. 12 minutes right now. So seeing some delays there. And looking out toward the west, maybe we should move the camera there. See some slowdowns there. 281.
Definitely looking to the west.
As the sun very bright there this evening, so that's a good thing. Well, not if you're staring into it. Make sure you have your shades.
Yeah, not if you don't. If you forgot your sunglasses. Thanks, Samuel. All right, Sam, you mentioned it. We're all waiting on it. This next round of rain.
I just want it to rain so it doesn't feel so just
like it's waiting to rain.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get on with it.
Imminent.
Bring it on is
Right?
what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah, and we will be, I think, in the pre-dawn hours. And we have a few pop-up showers out there south of town right now. We'll talk about those, but I don't expect much out there this evening and tonight. We actually topped out at 92 degrees today, the average high being 87. We're going to be closer to that over the next several days, all the way through the weekend. But Cotulla did hit 100 today. Carrizo Springs 97 along with Pleasanton. And Del Rio topped out at 96. Those were some of the warmer spots. More on the rainfall timing and the odds of it affecting Friday night football coming up.
Lot to track this evening.
Absolutely. Expecting rain. It's all about the timing, though, Adam.
Hey, timing's everything, and even location. That's everything as well. And when you put them together, it can be extra important. So anticipate, well, those two to come together for the morning commute in and around Bexar County and surrounding counties. And really, we're not expecting any severe thunderstorms. Yes, it's likely to be loud with a lot of thunder out there and of course lightning strikes, but no strong winds or large hail. Flash flooding our primary risk, as we could pick up a quick 1 to 4 inches of rain in parts of our area. Friday night football, I'm more optimistic about getting in the games and even on time. So let's talk about it. Looking at the radar now, a few developing showers and thunderstorms south of San Antonio, right along I-35. Even Cotulla, between Cotulla and Fowlerton, Los Angeles area had a little downpour recently. That's moving northward and has dissipated. A new one popped up just west of Pearsall. That's moving toward Highway 57. But this is really it out there right now. A few of them getting triggered by this outflow boundary that's been pushing westward, and that little breeze is enough to kickstart some of these showers and storms. But the main action is still off to our west, and you see it really coming together over the past couple of hours just outside of our viewing area. But a good chunk of West Texas, even into New Mexico. This is good for New Mexico. They need that moisture, and even Arizona, and also North Texas. Some severe activity here. More recently, some showers over the past 6 hours, but now some severe storms. And this severe thunderstorm watch box is still in effect, so some severe weather with it, but not likely to be severe in our area. One exception is far western Valverde County later on tonight. Let's look at our future cast starting at 8 o'clock, then we go through toward 10, 11 o'clock I'm not expecting anything around San Antonio or surrounding counties, and either is the FutureCast, and I think this one has the best handle on the situation. Once we get through the night, this is slowly pushing eastward, and in the pre-dawn hours tomorrow, so we're talking a few hours before sunrise, about 5 a.m., is when we're expecting heavier rain to move into town and make it into San Antonio and, of course, surrounding communities as well. So the morning commute will feature, we think, some of this heavy rainfall and quick 1 to 4 inches of rain in spots. So flash flooding is a possibility. I would prepare for some delays in the morning commute. By the noon hour, the energy should be past us, and I think we'll actually start to clear out a little bit, with rain chances really falling off by about 11 a.m. or noon. Into the afternoon, a few popping up, kind of like what we have out there right now, a few popping up here and there. And this is why I think we could have a few delays of football games tomorrow afternoon and early evening, but only about a 30% chance of seeing your game delayed. I think the showers and thunderstorms will be very few and far between for the second half of your Friday. So here's another way to look at those rain chances. These numbers just changed on me. That's interesting.
Yeah, it was like 30.
It was 30. Yeah, they were different. I don't know what happened to that. I'm going to have to look at that graphic. But I can tell you, 3 a.m., 30%. We get toward 4, 5 a.m. up to 70%, and that'll be the case through 10 a.m., 70%, and then they fall off to 40% for the noon hour. And tomorrow evening, 7 o'clock kickoff's about 30% chance. All right, temperatures right now. Still into the 90s south and west of town, where we've had a lot of sunshine today. 83 now in Gonzales. Dew points well into the 70s. There's that stickiness Steve was talking about. It feels like it could rain. Just get it over with. It's so muggy outside. This is actually going to change. By next week, we'll have a shift in our wind. We'll get a northerly breeze. Oh, it's going to feel pleasant again with dew points back down in the 50s. So you're not going to even feel the mugginess in the air come early next week. So tomorrow, that 70% chance for the morning commute, some heavy rain, the potential for some flash flooding or at least ponding of water on the roadways. And then into the afternoon and evening, only a 30% chance of showers. Mid-80s for highs and very sticky. You look at Saturday. We do anticipate some scattered or widely separated showers and storms to develop, but really nothing like what we're expecting tomorrow. Into Sunday, I think we'll clear out mostly, generally a dry day, if not completely dry. 88 the high temperature, and then that humidity gets knocked down on Monday. And it looks like next week, everything is going to green up nicely with the sunshine, low humidity, and high temperatures right near 90.
It'll be nice. Thanks, Adam.
All right, we had a lot of weather to talk about, but we have just enough time for a homemade thermometer winner. And this week's homemade thermometer goes to Helen. I'm having a hard time with this last name. Can I get a little help here? Hych. H-Y-C-H.
Helen H.
We're no help.
Helen H, you have won.
Helen H, I sent you an email about 30 minutes ago. The computer picked your name, okay? So the Helen H that gets that email. You can go to KSAT.com/thermometer to enter that drawing. Just behind me, actually, I have about 30 to 40 thermometer ornaments that are in the calibration process now.
It's that time of year.
Maybe Helen can respond with the pronunciation for all of us.
Yeah. I want to know now.
In case you missed it, coming up next.
Here's today's ICYMI.
Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, September 30th.
Firefighters are trying to figure out what sparked an apartment fire last night just north of downtown. Crews say a fire broke out in a wall between the first and second floor of the apartment building. Crews were able to put out the flames quickly and no one was hurt. People who lived in 3 apartment units were displaced last night. Still no word on the cause.
It took about 10 days, but lava flowing from a volcano on the island of La Palma has reached the Atlantic Ocean, and that is not a good thing. When the lava hits the water, toxic gases are created, so authorities are telling folks that they need to shelter in place on that island. Lava has taken out homes and churches and businesses. The island has been declared a disaster zone.
An 18-year-old woman accepting a plea deal for her role in the murder in 2020 of Jasmine Williams. Today, J. Maria Pope Williams pleading guilty to a charge of aggravated robbery. It's a charge that was reduced from capital murder. She's one of 6 co-defendants charged in Jasmine Williams' case.
Pilot unions for American and Southwest are asking the White House for exemptions to the federal vaccine mandate, warning of travel chaos during the holidays.
Snail mail is about to get slower. Beginning tomorrow, the Postal Service will adopt new standards that will delay delivery times for some mail. Postmaster General Louis DeJoy previously announced the changes to save billions of dollars. The changes mean some first-class mail, along with magazines, flyers, and other periodicals, will arrive later, especially if traveling a long distance.
Just another reminder about these lane closures on I-35 in Comal County, Watson Lane and Conrad's Lane, 8 p.m. So a little more than an hour already, seeing some delays in that area, so watch out for that. Otherwise, on 35 between New Braunfels and Loop 410, pretty good, 19 minutes each direction. But we are still watching this crash here. This is Loop 410 at Ingram. You can see some delays there, but otherwise, things mostly getting a lot better, Adam.
And Sam, taking a look at our rain chances. In the pre-dawn hours, you may be woken up by some lightning and thunder or heavy rain. I mean, we're talking 4 or 5 a.m. And then lasting through the morning commute, some areas of heavy rain coming and going. And flash flooding is a bit of a concern, as we had some heavy rain, obviously, the other day, and we're going to add a few more inches to it in spots. But the rain chances fall off by the afternoon and evening, with just a few stray pop-up showers and storms later in the day. So I'm really more optimistic about squeezing in those football games. This weekend, some scattered activity Saturday, drying out Sunday.
Thanks for watching the news at 6.
We'll see you back here on the Night Beat at 10.